I am safe to be projected onto. Man, so much of the journey of business growth is this acceptance and opening to the reality of being misunderstood. And as I've claimed my authentic, embodied, fully dialed up self-expression, who I really am in my work more and more and more over the years, I have received more and more and more and more hate. And some of this, like when I first got started and I get like a nasty comment or someone would send me a mean email, it would totally derail my day. And my nervous system would go into high gear. And I would spend an hour writing and rewriting the perfect reply. And I just got this email this morning from a former client who had a lot of things to say. And she's going through a rough time right now. And my human heart is like, I really genuinely wish her well. And also, it felt so liberating to be able to allow that criticism to just move through my body, to not feel like there was this self that needed to defend, to be able also to listen for the truth in that, because I'm human and I don't always get everything right. And I think there is value in feedback. I'm not advocating just like completely ignoring what anyone has to say about you. And the reality is knowing that, especially if you're doing higher consciousness work in the world, if you're holding a frequency that is at a different level of consciousness than the majority of others on this planet, there are going to be a lot of people who are deeply triggered by that. And this is the beautiful thing about the work that we get to do, is we get to hold a possibility. We get to hold a field in which others can either choose to see themselves, their highest potential, who they really are, or if they're not yet ready, the ego will see that and it will feel threatened by it and will project and will get projected onto. And the liberation that comes from just the awareness and the acknowledgement and the safety of like, I am safe being projected onto. I am safe being projected onto. I am safe being misunderstood. I am safe receiving criticism. I am safe walking in my truth in the world and being misunderstood. Having a percentage of my audience who hates me for whatever reason, There's so much liberation in that. I was having a conversation with a family member yesterday, and she was like, I, in so many words, she said, I feel uncomfortable about what you're sharing online, what you're posting on social media. And it felt so good to be able to receive that, to be able to actually open fully to it and be like, hey, I would love to hear what's coming up for you. Like, share, let's talk about it. And for her to share her concerns, for me to really hear that fully, not push it away because I was afraid of it or because I felt defensive, to be able to fully receive that, and then to really ground back into my own truth. And this embodied knowing of like, yeah, I hear you, I hear you, I love you, and I'm gonna do the work that I'm here to do in the world. There's something so liberating about this. The liberation of being okay being misunderstood, of a nervous system that feels safe being misunderstood. When you're able to accept that a large percentage of people out there in the world are not going to get it, are even going to be openly hostile to the things that you're sharing, you can allow yourself to relax back into your own authentic truth and stop subtly whitewashing and rounding off the edges and couching your own authenticity and trying to shapeshift into the thing that you think you need to be for other people to like you. That is a losing game. That is a game that I am not interested in playing. And so much of what I talk about with magnetism, we're about to kick off this new 3-week live challenge, Magnetic, the art and science of becoming irresistible in business. How do you become magnetic? How do you attract clients through magnetism instead of persuasion and convincing and force, which is what most marketing on the planet, that's the frequency that it's at, because we don't have these things in place, right? Because we're all showing up trying to look and sound like everybody else. Everyone's using ChatGPT to write their posts, so it sounds like everybody else. It's like we're all these like carbon copies of each other because we're so afraid of owning our authentic expression, because we're afraid of, well, what happens if I stand out? And what is that going to mean? Am I going to lose love and belonging? And are people not going to like me? And the ability to step into the ring fully bringing you into the ring. The world needs you in your full self-expression. That is what the world needs, is you. All of your quirks and all of the things that you think are weird and all of the things that you're afraid if you say them that other people are going to misunderstand you, you're going to lose love and belonging, that actually that is the path to not only your own liberation, to not only a form of expression in the world that just feels so easy because there's no longer all these layers of performance. Like it's like when you're performing, when you're like even subtly just trying to like shape shift yourself into what you think you need to be for somebody else, all of your life force, all of your magnetism is like you dim it. And when that's not there anymore, there's a radiance, there's a truth, there's a power that can come through you. And that is the thing that the world is craving for. The world is craving for your ideal clients, the people who are truly meant to work with you. I have these communities today, these programs, that we're running, the Magnetic Challenge, the Collective. It's like every single person in my program, I'm like, these people are literally incredible. These people are so soul aligned. These are people that I just love hanging out with so much. I'm like, I would do this for free. How was I able to attract those clients? Well, it was by having the courage to show up fully as myself in my marketing so those people could really feel me, and that I could become a clear enough and a bright enough lighthouse through my own liberated, authentic self-expression that when the right people, the people who I was truly meant to serve, saw my content, saw my posts, read my emails, they felt that this is a person that they felt drawn to, right? Because I show all of who I am. I bring all of who I am into my business. There's no real separation between me and how I show up online. If you hung out with me in person, you'd see the same person. There's no gap. I'm not performing a character. So, where are you whitewashing your truth? Where are you holding back? Where are you subtly rounding off the edges of your own authentic self-expression because you're afraid of what other people might think? Who would you be if you truly held the belief, I am safe being projected onto. I am safe being misunderstood. I am safe being in the field of projection. This is liberation in business. And it's also the path to effortlessly attracting the clients who are truly meant to work with you.